Hello learners, in this video we are going to review the vectors. Some of you might already know about vectors, but in this video we'll have a quick review so that some who don't remember it can recall. First, let us talk about scalars. Scalars are the quantities that has only magnitude. Scalars are denoted by an alphabet, an italicized alphabet in books, and when you write them on a notebook, you'll have to write an alphabet and enclose it with the help of two pipeline symbols. The examples of scalars are voltage, time, temperature, and mass. Vectors, on the other hand, are the quantities, physical quantities that has both magnitude and direction. Vectors in books are denoted by a bold capital letter, and when you write them on notebook, you'll have to head them with a right directed arrow. So, what are the examples of vectors? Force is a vector, velocity is a vector, gravity is a vector. There are some quantities that have both scalar and vector versions. For example, we have speed and we have velocity. Speed is a scalar and velocity is a vector. We have distance and we have displacement. Distance is a scalar quantity. On the other hand, displacement is a quantity that has direction, because when an object is moved from one place to another, it is displaced, and when it is moved in a special direction. There are also some quantities like current which can be confused whether they are scalar or a vector. For a vector to be vector, other than having magnitude and direction, it should also follow vector algebra and all the properties of vector. Vector algebra and some properties of vector we'll discuss in upcoming slides. Then you will come to know that current does not follow vector algebra. Let us talk about few vector algebra concepts. Vector is denoted by an arrow. We have to write the name of this vector somewhere near the arrow. For example, this A is a vector. Vector can be smaller or bigger. The size of the arrow denotes the magnitude of the vector, and the direction of the arrow shows us the direction of the vector. For example, A is a larger vector, B is a smaller vector, magnitude wise, but they are both pointing in the same direction. Also, if there is a vector on a plane, let's say like this, and on the same plane somewhere else there is another vector having same direction and same magnitude, you will have to say that these two vectors are either they are same or they are equal. Vector can be divided and can be multiplied by a constant quantity. For example, this vector A is multiplied by 2 and it became double, and this same vector A is divided by 2 and it became half. If a vector A is changed in direction, if its direction is made opposite, it will be denoted by a negative sign like this. And also, two vectors can be added and their addition is commutative. For example, in this figure, this vector A is pointing in some direction and the head of this vector A is joined with the tail of this another vector B. So, if you consider this as a path, a two-step path from tail to head of A and then from tail to head of B, the addition of A and B can be considered as the direction from the tail of A to the head of B, like this. So this is the concept of adding two vectors. This is another way by which we can add two vectors. This another method shows us that a vector B, if it is changed in position and if it is kept on the same plane, this will remain same. Similarly, this A and this A, they are parallel. So these two triangulation rules which are showing us the addition of vectors, they are denoting the same thing. Let us see some more vector algebra. Two vectors can be subtracted. See this figure, A plus B. A is added to B. Why? Because the arrowhead of A joins the tail of B and they together specify some direction, and if you directly cross that direction using another vector, that vector will be called the addition of A and B. But if you change the direction of B, this B will be known as negative B. So if you try to add this A and this minus B, you are not actually adding them, you are subtracting them. So this lower triangle tells you about the subtraction of two vectors. Vector addition is associative as well. For example, we have seen this lower triangle that A plus B can be denoted by these arrowhead and arrow tail concept of triangle. For example, we consider this A plus B as a new vector and we try to add it with C. So A plus B plus C can be denoted by this direction, and this is also vector addition, so it is associative. We can say that first we do A plus B and then we add C to it. What happens if we want to use only the direction from a vector? In that case, unit vector helps us. Unit vector is a vector that extracts only the direction from a vector. So how to find the unit vector of a vector? We'll divide the vector from its magnitude and we'll get a unit vector. When you see unit vectors on books, you'll see them as a small letter which is bold, and there should be a subscript. The subscript denotes us the name of the actual vector from which this unit vector is being made. While writing on your notebook, it's compulsory that while writing a unit vector on notebook, you'll have to put a cap above it. This symbol is known as cap. Don't forget to put a cap above a unit vector and an arrow symbol above a normal vector. It is compulsory. You cannot skip it. Let us see some more vector algebra. Two vectors can also be multiplied, but there are two ways to multiply them. One is dot product, one is cross product. You might already know this, but let's see something more about it. To multiply two vectors in dot product form, the way to do it is that we know that two vectors, let's say a vector A and a vector B, if they have an angle between them, let this angle be theta. So this vector A and vector B, if you multiply their magnitudes and then multiply both of these multiplication with the cos of this angle theta, this will be called a dot product. Let us see why this dot product is needed. See this figure. Let's say this footballer is kicking this football and he wants this football to take a flight. For this, he will kick this football somewhere near the bottom of this football so that it takes a path like this and flies away. So what this footballer is doing, he is actually kicking a football from this point and with an angle, let's say theta AB. So if you want to see that at what direction this football will be going, you will have to multiply the forces that are applied by this footballer. Actually, this footballer is putting force a little bit in the horizontal direction and a little bit in this A direction also. So the combination of these two forces will make this ball go in somewhat in this direction, which can be 45 degree or 30 degree or any acute angle, and that acute angle is shown by this theta AB. There is another way to multiply two vectors. It is known as cross product. To understand what is cross product, we'll have to see the example of this table. Let's say we want to know the area of the surface of this table, and we also want to know whether this table is tilted or not, and we know that the floor below this table is flat. So to find the area of a rectangle, what we do, we multiply the sides. Let's say A and B are the sides. But how should we find whether this table is tilted with respect to this floor or it is flat? The solution is cross product. If you cross multiply A and B, you have to multiply their magnitudes, and then you have to multiply it with the angle between them, the sine of the angle between them. So theta AB is the angle between A and B, and we are finding out the sine of this angle, and we're multiplying it with A and B, magnitude of multiplication of A and B. And lastly, what we do, we multiply the direction which is normal to this both vectors A and B. We are considering that A and B both are on the same plane, and this unit vector AN is actually normal to the surface made by both vectors A and B. So coming back to the example of the table, let's say the unit vector AN is the direction of this multiplication of A and B, and we know that the direction of the unit vector from the floor is, let's say, A of let's say capital N. And if we know that A small n and A capital N, they both are pointing in the same perpendicular direction, we can surely say that the table is flat, as the floor is also flat. They are parallel to each other. So the result of dot product is a scalar, because the dot product is the contribution of one vector over another, and this distance will be the result of A dot B. And the result of the cross product is a vector, because the final result itself points towards the direction which is perpendicular to both A and B. So hope you understood all the vector algebra concepts. These concepts will help you to understand actual real electromagnetic theory concepts. So that's all with this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.